hard and tight today.
Sì, infatti ho iniziato un'altra cosa, aspettate un attimo che...
Oh, let's do a little something here. Let me get you and mute. And on investors, what we're going to do, oh, can't even keep up with people coming in. If I could ask just the investors and Vishal.
Vi chiedo scusa perché avevo un'altra call che mi è iniziata alle 10. Esco, ma vi lascio il meet aperto. Allora, restiamo che noi proviamo a fare una proposta di...
I got him. I got him. Okay, wonderful. Excellent. We're letting a few more people in here as well. Lyle has just joined us as well. I think we got like 35, 40 investors who are joining us today. So appreciate all of that. Hey, good to see you, Vishal. You're right up there on my screen. I see you.
Good morning, Brian.
Beautiful. Good morning. Great. As an LP in Expert Dojo, you're going to be very happy. We got some doozies. We got some lovely ones. So here's the way it's going to work today. We're going to keep it really tight, like we always try and do. Every startup is going to pitch for 5 minutes. We've got startups from all over the world. We've got startups from Africa, startups from Estonia, startups from India, startups from Canada. We got 1 or 2 from Southern California. We got 1 from Bolivia. We got 1 from Israel. We've got another 1 from Sweden. We got another 1 over in the United Kingdom. So we've got, I believe, the best of the best. We have a team now of 7 associates who go around the world looking for the best startups that we can find anywhere. And these are no longer the days of trying to find some pre-product folks who might be able to build something in the future. These startups are all badass. And I promise you, you're going to see everything from companies that are looking at revenues of $5 to $10 million this year, never mind next year, to other companies that are already doing $100,000 a month in revenue. So you're going to see some great ones. I'm going to let Isabel just spend a minute or so just saying what's going to happen during it. And then at 10:05, I am going to kick off with the first presentation, which we're going to do with Formulu. Isabel, what have you got for us?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Brian. So we're going to have 13 pitches today. We're going to listen to them for 5 minutes each. If you have any questions, we kindly ask you to keep them to the chat, or we'll be happy to arrange one-on-one meetings for you afterwards. And you can either, so all of the startups will leave their contact information in the chat. So you can either reach out directly, you can email me. I'm also going to share a little feedback form with you in the chat. So it's very easy for you. You can give a little feedback to the companies, and you can ask.
I gotta find my wire.
Contacted by the startup and get an intro from there. And then we do have a lot of great funds with us today, and as you can see, we have a lot of investors joining. So, for example, we have SJF Ventures joining us, and we're very happy for that. And we have UN Ventures, and we have the Artemis Fund. We have Toronto Stock Exchange with us as well. We have Small Biz, and we have Framework Ventures. We have Entertainment VC and Capital Innovators. We have Zambesi Partners and JXL Ventures. We have Sparrow Fund, Sparrow Sun Ventures in Fairbridge and E2D Capital, and the list goes on. We have Microventures, Vidrush, Lumo Labs. We have a lot of angels. We have Allstate Strategic Ventures with us, and we have Panoramic Ventures and Rebel One. We have Beyond Hook Ventures. We have Traction Industries. We have A-Light, the Italian trade agency. We have the Quantum Group. We have Rainstar with us. We have 100XVC, Newman Capital, Merrill Lynch, Basecamp Fund, Alumni Ventures, V Ventures, Type 1 Ventures, and BBG Ventures. And then on top of that, we also have a lot of angels. So, yeah, so it's a big group with us today. Yes. And now I'm going to let Brian kick off with the first startup that we're going to.
We'll go through it. So again, anything you want to speak to the startup about, just chat with them in the chat. They'll be happy to actually correspond with you and go through that. Anything where for the additional meetings, just fill in the form that Isabel is sharing with you in the chat right this second. and then we'll just kick off, and I'll keep it really tight. So we're going to start off with Formaloo. We're going to bring up Farouk. Farouk, you want to bring up your presentation on the screen, please? And then you have 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. Let me share my screen here. And let's hit play.
Perfect. We see you and we hear you.
Great. Hello, everyone. I'm Farouk Shahabi, the co-founder and CEO of Formaloo. Let me tell you a story. The story of the idea behind more than 12,000 businesses trusted us and use Formaloo to grow their business. And how we managed to analyze more than 2 million customers so far, and why we are experiencing an average of 25% month-over-month growth rate. Over the past 5 years, we developed data-driven business solutions for big enterprises all over the world. And what we saw was a single problem that every one of them had. They didn't know how to turn their customers into loyal customers. We saw that most e-commerces and the startups were missing how to retain their customers and how to keep them to come back. They were only focused on getting new customers. Formaloo helps you turn your audiences into customers and your customers into loyal customers. Formaloo, it's fully automatic, doesn't require any code, and best of all, doesn't need any data expert to operate it. Formaloo connects to all of your data sources. It collects, analyzes, and unifies data from different data sources to grow your revenues and customer loyalty. Formaloo provides you with powerful customer insights so you can understand each and every one of your customers and maximizing your customer lifetime value. Formaloo won't replace anything. It just adds a very powerful layer to your applications so you can use and understand your data. Yeah. Our clients experience an average of 270% growth in their customer lifetime value when they use Formaloo. Our market has at least 46 million potential customers, and we want to address 10 million of them in the next 5 years. Here is our amazing team. We've been working together for more than 5 years now, and we managed 2 successful exits and 2 M&As before. And I'd like you to ask you to join us in this journey. We are raising $500,000 to expand even faster. And if you are looking to integrate your services with us, please contact with me. Thank you very much.
So here's what we liked about Formaloo when we invested in them. Number one, the 12,000 customers for us was very important. Farouk would be very happy to break down the split of exactly, obviously in 5 minutes, it's difficult to go through exactly what those customers are actually staying for. But for us, it was like very simple dashboards that allowed them to be able to see who their best clients were, why those people were their best clients, focus on the ones they need to focus on and ignore the ones that are the low value. And that's actually allowed their clients to increase their ROI. Well done, Farouk. Thanks for the presentation.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we're going to go from Estonia, where Formaloo are based, over to India. We're going to bring up Sharman. Sharman, if you want to take us out and talk a little bit about InStoried and tell us how and why you are one of the fastest growing companies over in India right now.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. Are you able to see my screen?
Yep, we see you, we hear you.
Okay, great, awesome. Hi, everyone. So when was the last time you guys wrote a love letter? Well, I wrote one at the age of 21, and I can tell you how terrible I was at expressing my feelings. Hi, we are InStoried, and we are a team of very, very passionate techies and marketeers who decided to come together to help you add life into a rock using technology. So we primarily work in the content space, text content. So if you look at the content marketing lifecycle, it essentially comprises 5 stages, starting from conducting research about the kind of content that you want to build, to creating a strategy, to then creating and editing this content, to publishing this content across platforms and forums, and finally measuring what your engagement and performance has been like post-publishing. Needless to say, there are a multitude of tools available out there which help you track your engagement and performance post you've published it. Of course, the most emphasized one being Google Analytics. GA, as we all know, it gives you a very quantitative summary of how your content has performed, essentially metrics like open rate, click-through rate, number of people who joined, etc. But the challenge is that none of these tools really tell you that, let's say if your content performed badly, even though you've spent so much money on your AdWords, SEOs, campaigns, etc., they don't tell you why it so happened. And that's exactly what we are trying to solve. So we at InStory thought that what if there were a way to gauge content effectiveness, content performance, while you are creating the content, that is even before you've actually published the content, then that would be a huge value addition to the lives of marketers and brands globally. It's a very well-known fact that all of the consumer decision-making, consumer behavior is driven by emotions and not by logic. So what we've done at InStory is something phenomenal. We've built a very smart tool using which all of the content guys out there would be able to create content which is so much more human, so much more filled with empathy, that you'd be able to attract your customers really easily and also influence consumer decision making. All of it, of course, powered by a very data-driven, scalable, and repeatable approach using AI. Like any other great company, it's a dynamic and efficient team that defines its future. Hi, I'm Sharmeen, and I'm the founder and CEO at InStory. I have about 10 years of enterprise sales experience, out of which 7 years I've lived in the US, working with Fortune clients, like started with Microsoft in the tech space, moved to Pfizer and Bristol Myers Squibb in the pharma space, and then finally to Allstate Insurance and Walmart briefly, resulting in over $100 million in revenue. After 6 years, I realized that I was just helping the rich get richer, wasn't adding too much value to my own life. So I decided to quit, came back to India, started my first company, which was in the media space, sold that, had a successful exit, and then started InStory 2 years ago with my co-founder and CTO, Raj. He has about 8 years of AI experience. He's also ex-Microsoft. He's also had a startup before this, exited from that, and then joined us full-time. We are a team of 25 people right now. I'm also happy to tell you that we've raised $2 million in seed funding from a number of eminent investors across India and the US, and we are now looking at scaling globally. From a market landscape, we are not alone in this space, which I think is great news because it validates that there's huge potential. Grammarly would be an indirect competition to us. They've raised over 200 million. I'm happy to tell you that we had an acquisition offer from them back in 2019 when we just launched our alpha. Two of our direct competitors are these two companies called Textio and Resonate, both based in the US. The biggest difference between Textio and us is that they're primarily in the HR tech space, and we essentially work with all of the internal marketing communication within a company or any external marketing communication based content. So how do we make money? We are a subscription-based SaaS model. We charge about $70 per seat per month for all the smaller guys, and for the larger companies, we use a retainer model of up to $20,000 per annum for unlimited amount of content. So how big are we talking about? Needless to say, content is a massive opportunity. The total addressable market size for us is over 70 billion. And the early adopters in Asia, since we are based in India, the early adopters amounting to over $500 million. I'm also happy to tell you that we started selling only in the middle of COVID-19, that is last year in April. We've grown 400% in the last 10 months. We've got some amazing customer feedback so far. We've helped increase inbound leads per post by over 300%. We've driven ROI by 1.5x. We're currently growing at a month-on-month rate of 60%. We've already got 3 acquisition offers. Right now, we are at $60,000 in MRR, and we are about to get to $75,000 in MRR by the end of this month. And we have a very clear roadmap in place about how to get to $100,000 in MRR next quarter. We recently also went B2C, and I'm happy to tell you that we are about to close a partnership with one of the world's largest dating platforms, which would essentially take us to 30 million plus mobile devices. And then we are looking at expanding globally. We are right now doing another bridge round of 2 million, out of which 1.2 has already been committed, and I'm looking at closing the rest. I'd be happy to have a chat with you. Thank you.
You know, it's pretty obvious to see why we invested in Sharma and InStory. For any questions to her, by the way, you can see her right on the top with her first name, Sharman, and then F, and then in story just after that. Hit her with as much chat questions as you like. What I can say is she's one of the best fundraisers I've ever met. And she raised millions of dollars for this as she was building the product and pre-product. And that was in India. Imagine what she's going to be able to do as she comes back to the US, where she was based here for years before anyway. Yeah, so well done, Sharman. Really, really pleased about the investment that we've made there. And we're going to move over to Ajiro, and we're going to bring Mac. And while Mac's coming up, let me add an extra point in here. And that's that we're really pleased about this cohort. We actually have, of the 13 companies, we have 7 of them that are either female-led or female 100% co-founded. So really, really strong cohort covering minorities, countries, female founders, and everyone one thing in common. They're just all badass founders that are building strong traction first and then following with great fundraising. Mac, over to you. Tell us all about Ajiro. Tell us all about clean tech, and tell us all about how you could save 20% of all energy waste on the roads today through trucks.
Thanks a lot, Brian. Hi, everybody. I'm Mac Murray, co-founder and CEO of Ajiro. And as Brian said, we're here to get trucking on the road to net zero. So everyone here today is a bit like me. 70% of the stuff you buy comes via truck. And so, trucking, for the way we live today, it's essential. But trucking is dirty, right? CO2 is a greenhouse gas. NOx and particulates, they contribute to tens of thousands of deaths every year. So we have to do something about this. So what's the solution? Some people might say the solution is new trucks. You have Tesla, Freightliner, et cetera, working on electric trucks. Nikola doing that, and also hydrogen fuel cell trucks. Hyundai's doing that as well. At Ajiro, we disagree, because trucking is not a vehicle, it's a system. And when you look at the system, you see things like this. Over the past 20 odd years, truck tonnage in the United States has gone up 45%, where distributable, dispatchable electricity has only gone up 2%. So unless we see this relationship flip around or change considerably, we're not going to be able to move trucking to electric or to electrolyzed H2. The second reason I don't think new trucks are the solution is, even if you got the whole market for new trucks, that's only 240,000 vehicles a year. It's going to take you forever to change up this 4 million strong cohort of diesel trucks you have in the United States today. So we see the immediate solution that we need now as retrofittable hybridization to reduce fuel consumption by 20 to 30%. Now, we're not the only people on this segment. You've got Helion. And both of us, Helion and Ajiro, we're aware that we need to be future-proof. And so we have an EV option. So when that infrastructure arrives, you will be able to convert your existing Ajiro system to full EV. What sets Ajiro apart is our totally unique motor technology. We don't use any permanent magnets, and in fact, we use no copper. So at the end of the life cycle, you just recycle what amounts to aluminum. It's very easy to recycle. It's also very cheap. Our storage technology is also totally unique. We use carbon nanotubes, so there's no cobalt involved, there are no price shocks involved with that sort of stuff, and there's no fire risk. Now, we are launching in the United States this year, and so we'll be present in the same market as Helion, but we also are present in Europe and Australia, and we make trailer systems, so we can address a much larger market. And how do we do this? Well, we are universally compatible. If you're running a straight truck or rigid, it's the driveline KERS. If you're running a tractor unit or a semi-trailer, it's the E-axle KERS. But both of these kinetic energy recovery systems will plug and play onto any make of vehicle and can be done in a day by 2 people. So just a little thought experiment here. If Helion can address the 4 million strong American market, and they're worth $3 billion, and Ajiro can address the American market and the European market, so 10 million vehicles, what would we be worth? Something to think about. And we know it's going to take a lot of work to get there. So we're addressing this in the 3-pronged approach. We're addressing tier 1 OEM suppliers, large fleet lessors, and large operators. Now, we're already in revenue. We'll be doing over $2 million in revenue this year. And we have a strong client base to push us to 100 million. So this 3-pronged approach is reflected in our customer base. Fraiken, one of Europe's largest fleet lessors, Michelin, tier 1 OEM supplier, and Cube, Australia's largest logistics company. And together they have a combined turnover of over $5 billion annually, and 60,000 vehicles in their combined fleets. Now, to make the most of an opportunity like this, you have to have a great team. And so we do have a great team at Agiro. Rory Oliver Hall, our engineer for the hybridization system. He worked on hybrid drivetrains at Jaguar Land Rover and previously was in Ferrari F1. Will Putter, our chief commercial officer, 2 decades in heavy goods vehicles in the UK and Europe doing retrofits with gas. Fred Sully, our CSO, professor of embedded systems and former CTO of Caldera Graphics. And he was a key player in their acquisition by Dover Corporation. And finally, Deborah Hudson, our acting CFO, the rare electrical engineer with an MBA and who spent a decade at McKinsey. So we really have the chops to take on any challenge here, because it's not just the kinetic energy recovery system that we're looking at, because this system to exist has 3 things: a high voltage power bus, FMS and GPS, and a local LTE network. And with these 3 systems, we create 3 ecosystems that drive recurring revenue. And I'd like to get into that perhaps when we have a chat after this, but it's a bit too big to touch on now. So to make the most of this, we've brought this technology to the market. We raised 1.2 million pounds in the UK to take this, from a concept to something which can be commercialized. And we're raising $2 million in this round to support our United States launch. So I'll wrap up here, but when you leave here today, I'd like you to look around, spot how many trucks you see, and think to yourself, I could be making sure that every one of those trucks consumes 20% less starting today. So I'd love to talk to you. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you, Mac. And look, we invested in this company because number 1, clean tech is on fire right now. Everybody knows that. And number 2, they have a rock star team of people who've been in this space for years. And normally when you're building unicorns, it's extremely difficult to be able to see that straight line for where it goes in the future. And there are a lot of variables. In this case, we know where everything is going. And I would rather bet on the product, which is future-proofed, but at the same time, right now, in this moment, can literally save 20% of all energy costs based on one retrofit. So yeah, excellent. Max put his details in there, but he's also in the chat. Hit him up. He'll be very, very happy to go through everything he's got there. But this is a real live one. We want to go over from a great UK company, and we're going to go over to Africa. A phenomenal fintech company, another incredible female-founded company. A huge, huge, huge area of concern for us, and we were so happy to find it. And I'll let her go through the presentation, but for us, this is about real-time data to be able to provide real-time solutions as opposed to previous data, and Akiba nailed it. So Teboho, the floor is yours.
Awesome, thanks Brian. Hi everyone, my name is Teboho. I am one of the co-founders at Akiba Digital. Our purpose at Akiba is to unlock financial opportunities for customers, businesses, and society using alternative data. And the problem we realize is that in Africa alone, 80% of the African population, these are small businesses and both individuals, are unable to access financial products. And this is because of the traditional credit scoring system being very archaic. Of the 20% that can be scored, traditional scoring methods only offer a partial view. And we know that this partial view is only based on the history of your credit and not the future or any other view. We also know that financial data is pretty fragmented in Africa. And so we took on this challenge to solve it using a platform we call Google.ai that essentially allows SMEs to access better financial, SMEs and individuals to access better financial lending, to access better financial products using alternative scores. How we do this is we bulk a whole bunch of alternative data sets, mostly financial data that offer a real-time view of customers' financial health. We use these to create scores. We're also able to predict the affordability and default using these alternative scores and help lenders to monitor loan performance and ultimately optimize using predictive sort of lending repayment structures. All of these are packaged into APIs to even offer a better chance of lenders or better way for lenders to integrate into the existing product. Our value proposition to lenders is very simple. We cost save by reducing their customer acquisition cost through our optimized or automated loan screening process. We also increase their ROI by reducing the default to almost always under 5%. And from an efficiency perspective, we help lenders make quicker lending decisions. The market is huge and ripe in Africa, and there's over 10 million SMEs alone. We are only focusing on SMEs that have some sort of digitized data sets, which could be, mobile money, transaction data, bank data, or even POS data, of which we're targeting to have a market share of at least 10% and a beachhead of about 500,000 of these SMEs in the next 5 years. Globally, we know that this is a $200 billion plus market. And so there's a huge opportunity for us. Why us and why now? In the last year, I think we've proven that we can take on this challenge. We've grown by 11x in 2020. We are post-revenue. We also believe that Africa is a ripe market, and with the right strategic partners, which we have right now, such as IBM, TransUnion, and Approve, and many more like Visa to come, we think we can take on this huge market. We're also leveraging the API economy. With our APIs, we can process more data, and the target is to reach 100 million data sets in the next 2 to 3 years of 10 million end users that we would have processed. And we also believe that our product has strong defensibility. We use nuanced data sets to grow the lending market for lenders, but we also leverage AI and ML capabilities to even predict going forward what their lending could look like. Our business model is very simple. We leverage subscription fees, per user scored fees, as well as per user licensing fees. So this applies both to access to our SaaS platform as well as our APIs. On the financial projections, we are, going after the classic hockey stick growth. As I've already mentioned, 2020 we've grown by 11x. 2021 we're gunning to get at least 1.5 million in revenue, and we're looking to gradually grow exponentially using our 3 offerings, which is the Insight subscription, the annual licensing, and API revenue. We're currently not fundraising. We've just recently closed our pre-seed, but we are looking to raise our seed of at least $2 million in the next 8 months or so. So we'll open our round towards Q4 of this year. And we'd like to invite any investor who is passionate about the space. With this, we're looking to unlock milestones of about 50 million in revenue to grow our team and expand our product offering to a lot more African countries. Our team is very strong. I myself, as the former McKinsey consultant, I have a rich background in data analytics and software engineering. I have amazing co-founders who are serial entrepreneurs. One of our co-founders has had a successful exit, as well as one that has got a rich background in banking and trade finance. And of course, we have an amazing advisory team. And if you'd like to join the advisory team, we also would love to chat to you. And our operational team is just as impressive, with PhD computer science, statistics, and data analytics type expertise, as well as chartered accountants to help us on the operational side. So we'd like to keep in touch with you. I'll share my contacts in the chat now for anyone who would like to keep in touch. Thank you.
Yeah, phenomenal presentation. Another amazing founder. I mean, a couple of things I'll say is, number one, you won't see any of these companies anywhere else. We've literally gone around the world to find the very best that is out there. Number two, I know 5 minutes is a very quick period for you to get the information, and it may be a tiny bit frustrating for investors that you don't get all the information you need, but that's what the chat is for. Please use that. You can reach out to all of the founders. You can see them there. Toboko is there. And you've got in storage Sharma, who's there as well, and everybody before that. They'll be happy to do them. And then number three, please, 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 the form that Isabel put in the chat, it is so easy. Literally, it's a Google Doc, and it means that we can arrange the meetings for you. So we can arrange hour-long meetings if we need to. Just click the startups you want to meet, and we will do everything else for you. Thanks to Toboko. Great presentation, super product. Again, for us, real simple to invest in this. I see this as the Dun & Bradstreet of the future, using live data for better lending decisions. And I have no idea why any lending institution would not want to have this level of live data built into lending for any type of businesses or even consumer in the future. Great stuff. We're going to move straight from there. We're going to move from Africa. We're going to go up to Canada. We're going to move from FinTech to Music Tech. And let's bring up Tunedly, who are going to talk to us how they're going to take the first level of engagement and marketing and revenue that they brought in and take it up to a whole new level. Chris, over to you. And we see you, but we don't hear you. Just make sure you're not on mute.
All right, you guys can hear me now, right?
Yeah, we got you.
Perfect, and welcome to the Toonly Show. Now, up front, I just want to say this is not going to be an investor pitch. It's going to be an experience for you guys, and I need you actually to participate a little bit. So I will play here in just a second. I'll play a sound. It's a mic check. You'll hear an annoying beep, and I'll need you to give me the thumbs up or clap with the reaction button if you can hear that sound. All right, ready? Okay. Do you see any claps, any thumbs up? Anybody? Good. I see some here. Perfect. All right. So you guys can hear it. That's perfect. Now on the next slide, I'm going to play a song. So now you can hear the sound. So I'll play a song. It's about 45 seconds. I just want you to listen to the song, nothing else.
See through my eyes. You never fall for those lies. Don't you know I hold the truth to you?
Ryan's dancing.
Oh, come. Live in my shelter, rest in my shadow. My love will find you wherever you go. Follow my promise when the path gets narrow. Come live in my shelter and rest in my shadow, my shadow. Oh, rest in my shadow, my shadow.
All right. Now, did you like the song? Anybody? Thumbs up or clapping? Like the song? Okay, I see a few thumbs up. Oh, there's more coming. Okay. But here's the funny thing. Like, you have no idea who the artist is, right? But you like the song. And that's the whole point. If you go to Spotify or if you go to YouTube, you actually like what the labels tell you to like, because they throw a whole lot of money into everything around the music, that you kind of lose the fact that you actually like the songs. And we're losing too many good songs because artists, independent artists, they don't have the money to buy all that stuff around it, the likes and the, you know, the videos and the photos and all of this. So what we said is no more of that. We are going to create the first music discovery platform that focuses on music only and nothing else but music. Now, how that works is independent artists can come to Toonly, they upload their song, and we strip everything away. We strip away the social media, the music videos, the public likes, images, artist name, everything. So you only hear the song and nothing else. Now, if you like the song, you upvote it. If you don't like the song, you downvote it. If you don't want to hear it, you skip it. We track all that data internally, not publicly, just internally, and then accumulate a monthly top 10 based on your input, based on listeners' input of the songs that they actually like, not the artists they like, not the videos they like, but the actual music that they like. Now, the cool thing is, those top 10 songs every single month, we sign them to exclusive publishing deals and place them in film and in TV and in ads to generate royalties for the artists, for ourselves as the publisher, and for you as the listener. Because if you upvoted a song that ends up in the top 10, you actually own a small token of that song, and you will generate royalties with it, along with everybody else who makes money with that song. Now, if you don't want to keep that token, that's okay. You can put it up on our Toonly marketplace, where we can exchange tokens, where you can sell tokens, buy other tokens from people that sell those tokens, and basically have a whole community there that is really truly into music and nothing else but music. Now, why am I so confident that we can actually place those songs in film and in TV and in ads? Well, we've partnered up with the best people in the industry. Harvey Mason Jr., he's one of our advisors and already agreed to be the public face of that music discovery platform. He's currently the CEO of the Grammy Awards. Can't get much higher than that in the music industry. And he's also produced music for some of the biggest artists. If you go on a road trip tomorrow, there's a chance that you will hear on the radio songs that Harvey has produced. And Matthew Knowles, he's the dad of Beyonce and one of the most connected people in the music industry who's also helping us. And in addition to that, we are actually, when I say we sign those songs to publishing deals, I actually mean us in cooperation with Spirit Music Group, which is our music publishing partner. And they're the largest independent music publisher in the world. They work with Ed Sheeran, Mariah Carey, Jason Aldean, and many more to name here. So you already know two ways that we monetize. It's the marketplace for the tokens. It is the royalties from music placements. And we also have artist services. So independent artists can come to our online recording studio and record music in studio quality. Now, the song that you heard earlier today, that song has been created from start to finish on the TuneD platform. There was no studio involved. It was all online in a virtual recording studio. The market size is obviously gigantic. Yep. Music publishing is about $5 million. The artist service market is about $7 million. We already tapped into that market. Revenue last year was $250,000. By 2023, we're going to be a $25 million company when all revenue streams are firing. We're a great team. I'll be happy to talk more about the team. We have experience in the music industry, in marketing, and in tech. And we're seeking $1 million right now at a $4.5 million valuation. Before I let you go, if you had the chance to invest in Spotify or in Deezer at a $4.5 million valuation, considering what they're worth today, would you have done it? I know I would have, because
I wanna be a billionaire so fucking bad.
Every one of you should as well. So thank you very much, and I'll be happy to talk to you more.
Nice, great. You just got me on my normal Saturday evening conversation. Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Great job.
No worries. Thank you.
In there too. Love it. Great company out of Canada. And again, we just love the fact that they're driving revenue already with a studio in your pocket and going up to what they're doing. Okay. We are going to move from Canada and we're going to move over to New York and we're going to bring out Moodbit and we're going to move from music tech and we're going to go over to HR tech. So over to you, Miko.
I don't want to go after this experience.
Would you want to be a billionaire?
Yeah, but I don't want to go after Tunedly experience. It was so great. Congrats, Chris. It was an amazing experience.
Exactly. You are going to sing beautiful HR music, so it's good.
Yes, we will. So can you let me know when you see my presentation, please?
We do not see it. We see it now. The floor is yours.
Great, thank you. I'm not gonna do a great experience as with music and everything, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit of what is happening right now in the terms of employees, managers, and the whole problem that we are facing from working from home and the future of work that is right now. My name is Miho Shoji. I am the co-founder and CEO of Moodbit. We are a smart solution for employee engagement. Our technology and our service is so needed and so innovative that that over 200 SMEs and Fortune 500 companies are using our technology, and we are having a revenue an increase of 30% a month-over-month growth. Some of our users are big companies as NSC, NTT Docomo in Japan, LATAM Airlines in South America, and many other more. We are having an MRR, or we closed 2020 with a $53,000 of the last Q4 in 2020, and we are growing over 30%, as I said. And we're seeing this type of news every single day. Relationship between managers and employees are very tense, and COVID is to blame. But we are not seeing the end of working from home, because companies are putting this time of blended systems or work 100% remote working for now on. So we're facing a big problem, but employee disengagement didn't start because of COVID and because of working remotely. It's a $600 billion problem that are losing US companies every single year, leading to different types of other problems, more absentees, less productivity, and less profitability. And as I said, it didn't start because of COVID. Companies are trying to solve employee disengagement with an outdated, time-consuming, and very costly employee engagement survey. The problem, it is not just the tool. The problem is the results that are bringing, because employees really don't want to answer these engagement surveys anymore. And that's why we create Moodbit. We are using AI to understand data from the internal communication platforms, Slack, Microsoft Teams, email platforms, or database. And we can use our technology and our algorithms to understand and provide with insights in real time. For example, some of the insights that we have are employee engagement scores. We can understand how is the if the employees have more positive or negative scores in an anonymous and integrated way. So we can see if the whole group and the whole department have which score in that moment. We are not asking anything from the employees. We can find who is an internal influencer and who are isolated employees, so we can get these two together and have a better productivity. We can compare between teams, but we also understand that providing with insights to the managers is not enough. We know that we can go directly to the employees with action plans that they can put in action every week. For example, meditation techniques or how to manage stress and anxiety in these more difficult times. With Moodbit, some of the companies are having an increase of employee engagement in more than 35%. We're helping to retain the high performance and, of course, improving employee satisfaction. We are a SaaS company, are charging depending on the size of the company. We're working with small companies and with big enterprises. And I know that we are going to be the next unicorn of HR tech and analytics because I have a great team. My co-founder and I have been working together for the past 10 years. This is our second company in the same industry. So we have a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge and network in the HR tech industry. My background is in people analytics and corporate communication. And Alfredo's background is, he has 15 years of experience as a full stack software engineer and machine learning engineer. And with us, we have great software engineers, data scientists, and IO psychologists that are working our product and our company. Also, we have great advisors from people that are working, leading machine learning at AWS, and people that have more than 10 years of experience in enterprise in the HR here in New York. We have an amazing corporate partnership with Accenture, Deloitte, Jetro, and Intel that have been helping to showcase Moodbit to their big clients. We have competition from Glean, Lattice, Worklick, or Culturam, but they are focused on employee engagement, but they are just using engagement surveys. We are using AI, and that's something that is very different from any other company. Our market is a huge 30 billion market on the well-being and productivity HR tech, and we have been winning and having awards from different types of organizations since being selected top picks at TechCrunch Disrupt San Francisco 2019 to winning AWS Startup Day in the same year. And in 2020, we won Future of Work at Alberta Innovates and so many other awards. And we're backed by great accelerator programs from Expert Dojo, of course, Alchemist, Startup Chile, and Larry's Lab here in New York. We raised already 300K, and now we are opening our doors for a 1.5 seed round. We're going to be the next employee experience platform, not just employee engagement, but employee experience. So the employees and managers can work together, and we're going to change the reactive way of relationship from the managers to employees to a proactive way. So if you want to join me, please join me in the future of work. Thank you.
And this company is also extremely interesting. I was on the phone with Brex the other day, who everybody would know. And Brex have just decided to send all of their employees home, maybe never to return back to the office. So how do you manage 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 20,000 employees who are all in disparate places, who don't have contact with their managers? Like, this for me is that way of taking group thought at any one time amongst multiple countries, multiple continents, multiple everything, and being able to tell which managers are managing properly or not. It's going to be huge. And she's already got massive clients in there. Well done, Miko. And now we're going to move from New York and we're going to go back over to Africa again. This is a killer company. Look, I had someone who worked in PayPal for many, 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 many years, who was on the pitch last week, who wants to put an investment into this company, say to me, this is the next PayPal. So Jess, explain to everybody why, please.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Just share my screen quickly. Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Jessica Anuna, and I'm the founder and CEO of Clasher. I'm based here in Lagos, Nigeria, but Clasher is a Delaware C Corp company. So we're building an online checkout that integrates into any e-commerce platform to allow international retailers like Amazon, Zara, and H&M to accept payments online in African currencies. So the big problem right now is retailers abroad in the West aren't able to accept African issued debit cards because of the poor because of the poor payments infrastructure that African issued cards have. So that means retailers abroad aren't able to sell into the African region and miss out on the 1 billion consumers here on the ground in Africa. So what we've created is a checkout that allows international retailers to accept payments in all 44 African currencies. On the right-hand side, you'll see a retailer's checkout, you'll see MasterCard, PayPal, and you'll also be able to see Clasher, which directly serves the African consumer. Right now, we're live in Ghanaian cedi, Kenyan shilling, and Nigerian naira, and we're adding currencies every single quarter. This is just an example of how our checkout works. The customer will go on a site, choose what they want, in this case Yeezys, choose their size, and then choose buy now and check out with Clasher in just 3 clicks. The currency will convert from the retailer's home currency, which is USD, into an African currency so that the customer can pay in their local domain currency. So why Africa? So as we know, Africa is the future. By 2025, half of the world's working population will live and work in Africa. Nigerians alone are spending $10 billion online annually and $4 billion worth of fashion. We are not just focusing on Nigeria, but it is the economic capital of Africa. So we're scaling from Nigeria into Kenya, Ghana, and other parts of Africa as well. So our target market is really big retailers looking to enter Africa for the first time: Zara, Topshop, H&M, even Best Buy and Target. Simply, we just integrate through an API and open up Africa as a brand new market for them. So far, we've already signed up Puma, Cape Robin, Unilever, Hugo Boss, and Lacoste to use our checkout on their websites. So here's some of our indirect competitors. So if I try to sign up on PayPal or Amazon Pay or Apple Pay in Africa, it's impossible. I'm not actually able to use my African address or African issued card to be a customer of these payment gateways. And that's really what we're solving for. So on the right-hand side, you'll see how our checkout looks alongside other payment gateways on international sites. PayPal, ClearPay, Klarna, Pay with Card, all of them do not facilitate the transaction for African currencies. We offer shipping and logistics, a seamless integration. We offer our customers the ability to pay online, and we're focused on fashion as our first category before moving into other categories. So we take a transaction fee of up to 3.8% per transaction. There are no other fees associated with using our checkout for now. So we've raised 300,000 in funding, and as Brian said, we have another 100K committed as of last week or as of yesterday. We're also backed by Expert Dojo, Techstars, Jinko. We're also in partnership with Alibaba on the Alibaba eFounders African program. We're one of 25 companies to work with Africa to work with Alibaba to grow and scale our business across the continent, and we're raising $1 million in this round. So here's our team. We have domain expertise from fintech and also e-commerce companies. I'm ex-Amazon, Shopify, also University of Cambridge. We have people from Mandela on our team and also OPay as well. And we have really great advisors too. So we've been fortunate enough to be featured in some core publications, including Forbes. The founders are 30 under 30, or on the 30 under 30 list. But what we're most proud of is our Trustpilot rating, and that we get excellent ratings from both our consumers and our merchants. Happy to answer any questions and look forward to hearing from you all soon.
Yeah, great job. And look, Africa is going crazy right now. We have an increase in unicorns, and they're up to like 3 or 4. They had another one that came through last week. We know that India are at like 25, 30. Who's going to bet against Africa, which is the fastest growing middle class, fastest growing nation, fastest growing population, fastest growing GDP in the world, not building up to 25 or 50 unicorns? And I'll let you into a secret. It's easier to find them there than it is to find them anywhere else. So it's amazing. So, okay, great. Jess, thank you very much. Awesome presentation. It's really clear. My hope is that a PayPal or somebody else is going to come in like 3 or 4 years' time, and they're just going to want to buy Jess and her company, and then she will decide if she wants to do something like that or if she wants to build something 10 times the size. But super, super, super company. We're going to go from Africa. We're going to go over to Estonia. I want to look at data calculus. And if you have thought as an investor for many years that AI is something that's just said and hasn't impacted platforms all that much, then you'll be extremely pleased to see this. This is like putting a data scientist into your pocket and making sure that you have that available for your entire company. They have automated the highest level of data input. We see you, Saeed. I don't hear you yet, though.
Thanks, Brian, for the introduction. Nice to meet you all. My name is Said. I'm the founder and CEO of Data Calculus, the most automated software for advanced data analysis and machine learning on the planet. We have done 3 market research and we don't know any other competitor that can provide this level of automation so far. Based on the market data, 80% of the companies are engaged in some sort of data analysis, but only 10% of them succeed. How we define the success here? Usually when companies are using dashboards and Excels to visualize their data, that's where they can understand what is happening in your business. So we can help them to go to the next steps, which adds more optimization and more value to their business. In the second stage, they can understand why something is happening, what will happen in the future, and what are the best course of action to optimize the business. Saying that, you can see 63% of the companies, they cannot even start their data-driven journey, and 27% are struggling in the way. You're probably asking why. There are very good reasons. First, the data scientists and data experts, they are very hard to find and expensive to hire. There are 57% shortage in the market. And when you have them, it usually takes several months, and in more complex projects, even years, to complete the projects. The next problem happens in larger enterprises when you have the executives and managers in one side with a full understanding about the business, but they are not familiar with data science. And in the other part, you have data scientists which understand data analysis very well, but they don't have the insights of the executives. At the end, they don't have a common language to communicate effectively. At the end, they just do data analysis without adding any result to the organization. This is our solution. If a company like small or medium businesses, they don't have talents, Data Calculus would be their data scientists. If they have some data expert, by equipping them with our software, they would be 4 times more productive, so you don't have to hire more. And they can complete the projects in a few days instead of months. Then we can go for the executives. Anyone can master this software in one single day, which is incredible because we are talking about advanced data analysis and machine learning, thanks to our level of automation. Second, the executives can start developing AI-driven strategies and action plans that by research by Deloitte, it tells they can exceed their business goals by 77% on average. And because we are engaging the executives, they can bring the culture of data-driven decision-making in the company. This is our competition. We call it red ocean competition because these are the companies, they are all targeting the data experts. We have very good competitors. For example, DataRobot, they have already raised $600 million so far. They're already a unicorn, but we have our great advantages there. For example, we automated more tools rather than them. So you have all the technologies you need to explore and understand your data. Then the biggest advantage we have is this one-day part. And because of that, we can target non-data expert. So this is our biggest differentiation in the market. And that's the only software that non-data experts can start, learn, and use. Then because of that, we are opening a totally new market. You're familiar with the Blue Ocean strategy. And because we are a pioneer in this market for enabling the non-data experts, we estimate that we can have 70% of the share of that market. The size of the market is estimated to be about 100 billion euros, and some estimation goes even up to 500 billion euros. These are some business use cases. You can analyze any tabular data set with this software, but these are just some cases. You can analyze your customer data to reduce the churn, increase the lifetime value, understanding their behavior and increasing the customer satisfaction, optimizing your sales and marketing campaigns, and most importantly, you can analyze your industrial specific data sets to innovate and win your competition faster. We have a quite mature product. It is iterated more than 7 times. It's available for all platforms. And shortly, we are going to have our cloud version. Our business model is B2B SaaS freemium, and our pricing is based on the database size. Then for larger companies, we have the enterprise solutions that goes between 50K to 100K euros per project per year. We have over 1,200 community members following us. They are mostly senior data scientists and executives. We have 26 large enterprises on the pilots. They're coming from different sectors: telecom, bank, manufacturing, government, and so on. And we have already generated some early revenue. These are our long-term projections. We are going to reach to 100K euros MRR by the end of this year. And in 3 years, we are going to have a large team of A+ people, about 70. This is our team. Myself, I'm a PhD data scientist and entrepreneur. I have worked in top-notch projects in Europe, Asia, and North America. Then we have Neda, which takes care of the operation, marketing, and design. We have two amazing practical advisors, Phil and Rita, which are mentors in Techstars. We are backed by best well-known accelerators. For example, a Startup Wise Guys, the most experienced B2B SaaS accelerator in Europe, and Expert Dojo, plus 3 angel investors and 3 more team members. These are the acknowledgements. We are featured as one of the top 10 early startups that make wave in Europe. And we have an open round of 800K USD. I invite you to join us, and our mission is to level up the humanity by having 1 billion citizen data scientists in just 5 years. Thank you.
Well done. Thanks, Saeed. And while you're taking this down and while Thomas is bringing his presentation up, I will say it's very easy to overlook something like this if you're not directly in this space. Deep data scientific ability to analyze proper data for the right outcomes is going to be the oil of the next 5 or 10 years. This is huge. You should look deeply into it. And Estonia are actually the #1 country in the world for unicorns per capita right now. So even more of a reason. Okay, thank you so much, Saeed. Great job.
Thank you.
We're going to move from there over to Sweden. We're going to move to Human-Centric Design. This company has got major Fortune 500 clients and has got a revenue of $1 million in the last 12 months. So take them seriously. Thomas, over to you. You have 5 minutes.
Thanks, Brian. Hi, I'm Thomas, founder of Contactmap. We address mainly 3 problems on the market. One is to find information much faster and more accurately. We invented a new search algorithm that enriched indexed search with deep learning, but also the taxonomy and the context of the storage space where we store content. Contactmap is also a cross-platform search where we can search many platforms, basically any place where you have information, either if it's communication like mail or chat forums or other types of communication, or it's storage sites like SharePoint or online storage or on-premise storage. We also find information more accurately, and that means that we can minimize the uses of wrong information. So this is one of the problems we address. Wrong information can sometimes be used. And we can also identify and pinpoint by the way our algorithm works in a very, very precise and very easy way. We can find cyber threats. And we believe that the absolutely best way to deal with cyber threats is to remove the actual threats from the places and have a look about user permissions. And this, unfortunately, is a problem that is steadily increasing and has done so for a very, very long time. The problem is actually doubling every second year as it is right now. Both amount of stored information and also the vendors, the places where we scattered out or we spread out all our information. That's increasing. When we state that trying to find a specific information, you know, this like a document you've seen some time ago, or a photo you've seen, this actually steals between 30 to 30 minutes to 2.5 hours per day. And in 90% of the cases, we don't even find the information. And these are numbers from Canon, IBM, Accenture, and IDC. So it's kind of valid numbers. The cost of looking for information is enormous. It's for a typical knowledge workers around $13,000 annually. And the global cost for this problem it's a gigantic problem. It's in the neighborhood of $40,000 billion annually. So it's one of the absolutely biggest problems we have. Another dimension is that information very often are isolated in silos. The solution we have and the epiphany, the thing we really found out, our great idea, is that the human brain really doesn't like text. We remember things in terms of pictures. We understand a picture about 60,000 times faster than written text, the same text. We really like maps. World maps has worked for thousands of years, and maps of the world is really, really easy to understand for a human brain. Our brains are actually hardwired to find food in forests. That's what happened for us the last millions of years. Our brains has evolved, has been evolutionized to find our way in forests, find food, find where to sleep, find where the rest of the group of us is living. It's not designed to find information in rows and columns or in search results. We have clinical studies where we try to run Contactmap compared to Google search. You can see the results here, so green versus red. I get quick to the solution now. What Contactmap does is that we create a map of the contents in your computers and all your storage sites. Wherever you have information, it gets the part that you want gets on a really big, like your own private world map of information. And this map is enhanced with deep learning search, so that the areas, when you search for information, the areas where we have information, for example, in a Google Drive, in Gmail, in a mailbox, in Slack, in Teams, in OneDrive, in Dropbox, they light up and you find the actual documents over all platforms at once. And this makes finding information at least 350% faster. The transition from looking at data in rows and columns to on map can be is a little bit similar, like moving from rows and columns in mobile phones to our new digital devices we have today. And these devices are absolutely perfect to find information on maps and in pictures. So we have the electronics world working for us. The market we are addressing right now, it's well, compared to the ROI, it's rather small. Enterprises spend around $200 billion annually on finding information and managing information. Managing security and cyber threats has a bad budget of approximately $200 billion. And knowledge workers, which is one of our target groups.
Last 2 minutes, Thomas.
All right.
I want to see that demo as well.
All right, let's switch to the demo then. You can watch this.
Yeah, because while you're bringing the demo up, Thomas, like the demo is what makes this thing work. This thing is incredible what they've created. We've all spent a bunch of time looking for information in our desktops, on our servers that we've never been able to find. This solves that problem and is doing it for thousands of companies. Okay, Thomas, show us what's happening.
I just make a really quick demo now on a new Contactmap that I just unwrapped for this. It's never been used before. To install, the onboarding is really, really fast. You install Contactmap in less than 30 seconds. The biggest stress test we've done is on 200 million documents or in one of the really big energy giants. But we also work with companies like General Motors and British Telecoms on enormously big amounts of information. But it also works for your local hard drive. So what it does is that it connects to the storage you want to look at, and it automatically builds this kind of really big map of it all. And we have specific search so that, say, for example, I search for patents. Now, this is just a text search, so I can see in context where I have all the hits when it comes to patents. But we also have specific search engines. Say, for example, that you want to be sure that you don't have any dangerous financial information in the company servers. This could be a really big deal, or that you're absolutely sure you don't have any child pornography, for example, or other absolutely bad stuff on any employee's server. Say, for example, you're selling the company or just for auditing. Then we have special search engines that identify this, and you can make very precise measurements on where information are located. You can make a comparison, for example, for different kinds of information. But the main thing is that you find all your information much more precisely. You make 90% less mistakes compared to Google or Microsoft search. And you find information 350% faster in Contactmap compared to Microsoft and Google. And these are numbers we get from our first 5,000 users at 30 industry companies, a few of them Fortune 500, and they testify that this is basically the absolutely best search they ever had.
Okay, and that's where I want to leave. That's where I want to leave this demo, the best search they ever had. This needs an hour to go through properly. It is huge what he's doing. Tell us how much money you're looking for and what your revenues are going to be for next year. That's all we care about.
Right now, we're just raising a small $1 million at a $4.5 million valuation. We aim at least 2 million in annual recurring revenue in the end of this year. Obviously, we're a SaaS platform, and I have so much to say, you know.
I know you do.
I'm going to tell you some of our really cool secrets, and we will own the end game. And this is an enormously large market. We have a real solid plan to own this market, and we have testimonials from the World Bank Group in Washington, D.C., stating that Contactmap is world leaders in access of industry information. So, yeah.
Well done. And look, as you can tell, Thomas is not at all passionate about this, but he has got an incredible technology, which we invested in because we believe in everything that he just said there. But it's going to take a long time for you to go through it. Please chat with him in here. This is what this is for. And then with Isabel, fill in the form to go afterwards. And I will say, like, why do Expert Dojo have such a big stretch between international and national? It's because we've seen the unicorns go from 90% in the US to 30% in the US. They're all over the world. That means you find companies from anywhere. And I want to bring up Czar Power. And when Czar Power finish their pitch, I will make a bet with every investor on this call afterwards. So Czar, I know you just had a term sheet come out from an investor. I know Mac has got another investor that's actually going through on Agiro as well. So huge, huge, huge interest in the clean tech space. Take us out and explain to us why the current grid is broken, why the future grid is broken, and how Czar Power fix it.
Awesome, Brian. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Tony Ferzone, co-founder and CEO of Czar Power, and I'm here to guide you through how Czar Power is developing the key to energy independence. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're at a crossroads. Most folks realize by now that using fossil fuels for our power and transportation is not only poisoning us, it's poisoning the planet, right? That's not news. What's not being discussed enough is that many of these proposed solutions on how to take us to a more sustainable future are simply too expensive and will take too long to implement. So there's two competing schools of thought here. One is that we're going to solve this problem and get to a more sustainable future by a macro approach or a grid scale approach. And the other one is that we are going to use an individual approach or micro approach to solve this problem. We at Czar think the macro approach is fundamentally flawed because it relies on a grid system that is already painfully stressed beyond capacity, as recent tragic events in Texas kind of highlight, right? It's a system that requires hundreds of billions of dollars, not only to maintain the current outdated infrastructure, but billions more to build additional, new alternative energy solutions. As if those things weren't enough, it is a political quagmire and regulatory nightmare to manage the over 3,000 utility companies scattered across America. So for these reasons and many, many more, we believe that the key to energy independence and sustainability is literally empowering individuals to take charge over their energy. But there's a problem and an enemy, and that enemy is complexity, specifically the cost associated with complexity. So if you or I or a small business wants to adopt clean energy technologies like solar, home batteries, electric vehicle fast charging, it requires multiple systems that cost over $21,000 in order to kind of bring it all online. Now, that $21,000 isn't even the cost of the solar panels on your roofs or the battery itself for your home battery. That is just in the various inverters and power electronic systems and boxes that you need to bring it all together. So quite frankly, we think that this is, not only ridiculous, but we'll never be able to achieve a more sustainable future as long as we are pricing most people out of participating in the clean energy revolution. So if the enemy is complexity, then our solution is simplicity. So we take those 5 systems and we put them into one box at better than 1/4 of the cost. With our device, you can charge your electric vehicle 2 to 5 times faster than the electric vehicle or than the charger that comes with your electric vehicle. It's modular and customizable for both residential and commercial applications. It incorporates a 20 kilowatt solar inverter so that you can charge your electric vehicle using 100% sustainable energy. And then when you're not charging your electric vehicle, you can route that solar energy through our box and power your home, store it in a home battery if you have it, or sell it back to the grid. And then finally, it's bidirectional. So the energy can flow both ways. There's a lot of exciting applications for this. One of them is, so you use your solar on your roof, route it through our box and charge your electric vehicle. But you can also, in an emergency situation, or if you don't have a home battery, you can pull the energy from your electric vehicle, route it through our box, and power your home with it. Now, there's a lot of folks who are pretty excited about what we're doing, both here in the United States and in China, where my co-founder is from. Nelson, my co-founder, is actually in China right now, revitalizing a pre-COVID $10 million LOI, and no promises, but I think we'll have really good news in increasing that number. We have 2 international patents. We have a third-party business analysis out of Beijing, who evaluated us at $50 million. And we think the 3 best customers for our technology are solar companies, because they can offer their full suite of clean technologies at a much reduced cost. Businesses with commercial electric vehicle fleets really capitalizing on that rapid EV charge time. And then all national charging infrastructure. So we have, you can see a growing and exciting list of both current and future strategic partners, again, both here in the United States and in China. The team that's making it all happen, myself, who helped co-found Czar shortly after returning from Afghanistan in 2015 with my brilliant co-founder, Dr. Nelson Wang, MIT PhD, the man in the trenches every day, Dr. Alan Taylor, and Mo, the humanizing force who kind of brings this all together. So far, we've raised $1.1 million in pre-seed and seed investment. We've taken this from a completely theoretical concept through version 1, 2, and 3. We are the #1 clean tech company in Massachusetts in 2019. We're seeking a $1 million late seed investment, which will enable us to attain UL safety and reliability certification, make any final product tweaks with version 4. And then that'll set us up for a live demonstration test in collaboration with Massachusetts state government in Boston here in August, and ultimately set us up for fulfilling sales requests on 2 different continents. If you believe in what we're doing and want to reach out, I'd love to talk. Thank you so much for your time.
Well done, Tony. And you deserve to build a unicorn. If not just because of your service to the US, not just because the fact that you have phenomenal MIT engineers that have built this product, not just because you've toiled on this to make sure that you can get a product which can actually be launched to market this year. There is literally 1 certification required for this to be launched out with potentially millions of dollars of sales, but because we're screwed without this. The current grid, the future grid, they cannot support it. These are big deals. And when we're looking at Tony and we're putting investments into folks like Tony and into Mac over in Jiro, we are thinking of stacks within the next 2 to 3 years, whether it be through partnerships or whatever else. And I will actually go as far to include all companies here in saying something I've never even said before, not even in our first 2 calls, that I will put $100 with any investor on this call, that at least one of these companies will be a unicorn. Like, forget investment, forget it. Like, I'll put $100. I put $500 if anybody wanted to do $500. Like, that's how much I believe in this cohort that we have here right now. And well done, Tony. Awesome presentation. Thank you. And I want to jump over. We're right on time, by the way. We have 3 presentations left. The 3 are awesome. I promise you. We're going to finish with a really strong one, and we've got 2 amazing ones in the meantime. And I want to, as Tony's taken his presentation down and we bring I Am Mail up, I just want to paint a picture for you of all of the disparate systems that are currently within organizations. And I mean the communication systems, whether folks are using WhatsApp, whether folks are using Skype, whether folks are using Zoom, whether they're using who's the other one? Any of the other ones. Like, there's so many, right? And what's the problem that organizations have? Hey, and Jason, by the way, get your presentation up while I'm doing this, please.
I think I'm the one today.
What's that?
Leo's doing it today.
Oh, Leo. Okay, Leo, bring your presentation.
Yeah.
And so imagine all these disparate systems. Like, what's the problem with them? The problem is they're all over the place. As an organization, you cannot control them. You cannot have security for them. You can't have safety or privacy or anything. I Am Mail solves all of that. Leo, tell us why.
Thanks, Brian, for the introduction. So, hi, everyone. I'm Leo, founder and CEO of iMail, the all-in-one collaboration app for work. So let me start asking you something. How many apps do you normally use for work? According to businesswire.com, the average number of apps used by a modern worker is around 9.39. So normally you use like Gmail, Calendar, Zoom, Dropbox, Slack, Asana, but there's a problem. And the problem is an average worker wastes 30 days a year navigating between apps. So there are too many apps over there. We are too overloaded of apps for work. We need to make it easy, which brings obviously this amount of different types of apps for work brings less productivity, information loss, less knowledge management, and of course, high costs. So to solve that problem, empowering teams to collaborate better, more secure and cheaper, we have created iMail. iMail is a messaging and collaboration platform, actually a complete real-time collaboration platform that we can offer you as a single page app with all you need to get your work done. So we offer you chat, drive, task management, and video conference. You probably are thinking about this and asking with yourself, so what's the difference in comparison to solutions like Slack or Microsoft Teams? And I can easily respond to this question because first of all, iMail has a very user-friendly interface. Actually, it's perfect for non-tech users, much better than Microsoft Teams and Slack, because it's pretty similar to WhatsApp, used by more than 2 billion daily users today. Also, we have on-premises installation, so the company can install iMail inside their own infrastructure. We have the best price of the market, so you can have this whole package for $2 initially, $2 per user month. And the cherry on top of the cake, we have the integration with Matrix protocol, which allows your company to talk externally with other users, mainly if they are using solutions like WhatsApp, Telegram, or other messaging apps. So we are in an ascension market, expected to grow to $21 billion by 2027. And in 5 years, we expect to achieve $100 million in terms of market share. I'm proud to say that we have today more than almost 20 enterprises that trust and pay for email around more than 10 countries. And we have more than 20 resellers officialized in more than 18 countries in 4 continents. So because of these partnerships, we expect to grow at least for 100 corporations paying for email in 2021. Last but not least, we grew 8 times. We are growing 8 times revenue in terms of MRR in this Q1 of 2021. This is our revenue growth curve for 2021. Actually, we have a very aggressive perspective for Q4, which is $1 million in terms of MRR. But we are assured that we can achieve this kind of number because we have a global partnership with Zimbra. And Zimbra, which is here, their logo is the 3rd largest corporate mail provider in the world with more than 100 million active users. So definitely we can explore together this huge amount of users and potential paid users for IMAIL. So to achieve great results, we need to have a great team. So we have Tim Taylor, who is our chairman. Tim Taylor is a founder and CEO of Digital, a 400 million euros company listed in London Stock Exchange. And he's been leading our board during 2020 and 2021, doing an amazing job. And we have also me as a founder and Rafael Menezes as a co-founder. We have been working together for more than 10 years as founders of previous successful startup companies, and a bunch of other executives very experienced like Paulo Martins, like Jason Michaud, and Rafael Del Rey. So to conclude my speech today, we already raised it to $750K, and we are seeking to raise a bridge loan around 600K in exchange of 10% of the company. So definitely with this capital structure, we can achieve our 100K in terms of MRR. If you want to have more information about IMAIL, I'll be more than glad to jump in a call with you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, awesome presentation. And again, the consistency you will see with all these companies is the aggressive growth trajectory that's built in for all of them. Great job, Leo. Thank you. Very, very clear. Again, reach out to Leo in chat. Okay, last two presentations were right on time. I want to bring in Jicama. We very carefully choose CPG products. This one here is incredible, not just because the actual beverage tastes delicious. That wouldn't be enough for us. It's also because the actual founders behind the beverage is phenomenal. We already had a VC in Latin America that's come to us and said they are investing without question. They are riddled with personalities. They also have a phenomenal just live well and better and eat better in the future message. So without further ado, let me pass you over to Mona and Craig.
Thank you so much, Brian. Hello, everyone. My name is Mona Sharma. I am the founder and CEO of Jicama, an innovative plant-based food and beverage company built on the immune boosting and prebiotic superfood Jicama. Now, I want you to all think back to your last vacation. I know it might seem like a long time ago, but thinking back, what were some of the things that you remember? Do you remember the fun, the adventure, the warmth, the delicious tastes and smells, the healthy feeling, knowing that you're living an authentic experience? And now, imagine the sound of a can opening and tasting a drink that takes you, back to that delicious, amazing moment so you can relive those experiences. My brand, Jicama, has all of the ingredients for this success. We've partnered with the top Latin beverage architects in the country to capture the taste and healthy feeling of adventure and fun in 3 delicious sparkling water flavors. Our first activation was at Coachella as the first better for you beverage that broke sales records, validating our mission. Having a passionate founder who is a leader in the wellness field, working with some of the world's top celebrities who are also investors, add in a beautiful lifestyle brand and a strong go-to-market strategy, you have all of the pillars for a successful brand. For over a decade, I have been working with high-profile clients, including Will Smith, Julian Huff, and Hrithik Roshan, using the power of food as medicine. Hrithik, by the way, is the Will Smith of Bollywood. He just came on as an investor, and today I'm thrilled to announce that I'm currently in negotiations with Will Smith's family office. This is personal for me. I also come from a family of autoimmune disease. I learned very early that food is medicine. It was in this process, going through my own healing journey, I've had 2 heart surgeries, weight gain, crippling anxiety, and I returned to my roots and I began using food as my own therapy for healing. And this is what led me to discover Jicama, this Latin American root vegetable. And after using Jicama on my clients' meal plans for over a decade for its proven medicinal benefits, I wanted to deliver products that were functional and fun. And thus was born our innovative brand, Jicama, with our delicious first offering and focus of 3 ready-to-drink sparkling prebiotic beverages. Now, as you're all aware, there have been tremendous amounts of innovation in this better for you space, with companies like Oatly, Bulletproof, Honest Company, developing innovative cross-vertical products under a singular brand. With a growing $94 billion industry, and a major driver of this market trend is millennials, now with significant spending power, who are health conscious and searching for better for you solutions to deal with anxiety and physical and mental health. But there's a problem. Each day, millions of people across the country consume drinks that have way too much sugar, chemical preservatives, artificial flavors, genetically modified ingredients, and chemicals that we can't even pronounce, or they are so healthy that they sacrifice taste. It is time for that to change, and Jicama is a brand that aligns health with great taste and a fun experience. Now, we have had a successful activation at Coachella 2019 as an official beverage that broke sales records. Jicama was slated to be at Coachella 2020, but again, with COVID postponing everything, in that time, I appeared on Red Table Talk, the Doctor's television show, educating the masses about Jicama. Jicama has also been approved by KIHI and DPI national distributors. Jicama has partnered with some of the leading hospitality companies worldwide, building a strong pipeline for our future success and sales. I've appeared on Dragon's Den, the Shark Tank of Canada, and brought in key investors and advisors. And to boot, Gwyneth Paltrow and Rachel Bray also called Jicama the next superfood. Some sales projections. We're in discussions with celebrities like Julian Huff and Will Smith, as I mentioned. Jicama is on the menu at some of the world's top bars, including Broken Shaker in Miami and Los Angeles. We're launching our first media spend influencer campaign focusing on Southern California and retail outlets like Erewhon. Year 2, we plan to expand into Mexico, both for market penetration and authenticity, and also looking to move our operations there to decrease our costs. And year 3, launching new products into the market. Now, think back to 10 years ago when coconut wasn't in every product that you consume like now. Much like coconut, Jicama is a multi-purpose ingredient that we have already developed into drinks, health shots, a gluten-free and nut-free flour. We've turned that into cakes and pizza crusts and pasta. We have Jicama milk, you name it. But unlike coconut, Jicama offers benefits for gut health and immunity, which have never been more important. We achieved 50,000 in our first year pre-launch. And for this round, Jicama is seeking a total raise of 750,000 on a 5 million valuation. Why invest? Jicama was built from the ground up to be an innovative, first to market, better for you lifestyle brand. We are proud to showcase this superfood with proven health benefits. We have already shown our potential with our early success. We have incredible timing with our potential list of A-lister personalities coming on board as we speak. Do not miss out. The world is about to open up, and Jicama is the next superfood brand, which only starts with our beverages. I look forward to sharing more with you. You can find my email in the text box to the side if you'd like to go further and have a taste experience. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome, great job, Mona. And look, you can see why we invested in this company here, and they're just incredible. So reach out to Mona, reach out to us. Mona's partner is also a major director in Hollywood as well, so they have massive influence. And I will say, please, Isabel, get the email over to Steven, who's just asked for an email for Jason or for Leo over at IML. Okay, last presentation. It would be quick, and you poor people, take that down if you don't mind, Mona. And I am going to bring up, just there you go. Wonderful. I love it. Okay, I'm going to bring up Solid Block. I'm going to do this myself. These are a great company that we brought in from Israel. And they have, because it's Friday, I want to respect that. And I'm going to quickly do the presentation myself. So let's take that down. Let's show it. Can everybody see me? Take that as a yes. Okay, FinTech. Israeli fintech, which means, you know, it's being built absolutely brilliantly, and it tokenizes one of the real estate, one of the areas that we know is the absolute worst area there is, which is real estate. So let me just get rid of that and push it over in the corner. Okay, so real estate, we know there's lots of it around the world, but we also know that the only problem we have with it is it's not liquid. It's hard to get into and expensive, and it's extremely difficult to get out of, and it can take years to get out. So it is absolutely perfect to tokenize because it's been closed for access for absolutely years. So that's what Solid Block have done. They created the NASDAQ for real estate so that anybody who has real estate is able to get two things which they want more than anything in the world. They want to make sure that they can fractionalize it to get as many people into it as they possibly can. And that's the same for people looking to invest in real estate. And they also want to make sure they can get liquidity whenever they need it. Imagine having a real estate portfolio that you can get liquidity from whenever you wanted it, so that you could leverage or use that money to actually for anything they actually need. So it's really simple how it works. You got an asset owner, somebody who's got a large amount of real estate, like my partner in Northern California, who owns a town. You then say, okay, your town is worth $80 million. Let's create a token within that town so that people can become shareholders within the town. Solid Block do all of the back end, create the entire exchange, bring in investors. Hey presto, you can actually you can raise money from as little as $5,000 or $10,000 per investor, as opposed to where you would have had to have been before with hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can get those investors from all around the world rather than just local places, and you can get the investment anytime. Here's where the rubber meets the road and why we invested in them. The Aspen coin. If I was trying to think of a more traditional and boring and conservative business model, it would be the St. Regis ski resort. You cannot imagine these people tokenizing their asset, but they did. And not only did they, but they raised $18 million without having to sell, without having to IPO. And look at this, their token is up 28% since they tokenized it. It got listed on T0, and a heck of a lot of people made a bunch of money. Now, you might think this exists out there. It does not. What exists out there is a bunch of real estate investment platforms, a bunch of syndication platforms that use blockchain cleverly to track the actual the performance of the asset, and some issuance platforms as well. Solid Block were the first that we know that came into this space and looked to do it. They've tokenized a bunch of premises already. We've got 2 more that are coming on over the next month, one which is 12 million, one which is 20 million here. Solid Block actually make money from this by not only taking fees at the beginning, but then taking a percentage of subsequent transactions ongoing. So it's a phenomenal model. You can see they started with an issuance marketplace. They then are building in compliance indexes. Then there will be cross-listing. And hey presto, within time, we have ourselves a brand new stock exchange for tokenized real estate. The team is a beast team. Yale is one of the best CEOs I've ever come across. Our co-CEO, who's focused on the development side, is one of the deepest tech people that I've met. They have got a stack of people. This is not a startup with one person in the garage. These are an experienced traditional team that have been working extremely well together. You can see their partners. Little old us are there, but we are a small speck compared to the other partners that they've built up. And that's it. They've already raised $1 million of their $2 million raise. I personally had a conversation with an investor last week who's looking to put another $1 million into it. I think they'll go pretty fast. I thank you. I hate going over. We just went over by 3 minutes, which is not terrible, but I appreciate everybody staying. You can all either fill in the form that you have there. Isabel will set up the appointments. You can reach out to me at brian@expertdojo.com. I will set up the appointments. I think we got humdingers at companies, and I would love to bring in some other investors to join us on the journey. That's it. It's over. Thank you, everybody. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Appreciate all you investors. You're all my friends, and looking forward to making a bunch of money with you. And startups, great job on what you've done today. That is it. Thanks, David. I see you. Sebastiana, I'll take the applause, even though it's for all of them. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it. See you all. Anybody who wants to reach out, or just if you're bored, I'm around the dojo all the time. Please come and visit and say hi. Appreciate it, Daniel. Thanks. Esteban, did you get the email for IM Mail? If you didn't for any reason, I will put it in chat right now. And also you can reach out to me at Brian@ExpertDojo. Let's see if you're still there. You are still there. Good. You hang on 1 second.
I've set up an email intro. It's done.
Oh, you gave it to him? Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, perfect. Let's see. Who do we still have here? Awesome. Hey, Brett. Great to see you, buddy.
Thanks, Brian, for an awesome week. Thanks.
Yeah, sweet. Oh, you got it, my friend. Good job, Thomas. Man, just do the demo in the future. The demo is awesome. Can't even wait. And Chris, what the hell?
This has been really an awesome week on so many levels. It's been super great week. Thank you.
Yeah, listen, it was fantastic. I'm so pleased. And you performed so much better with one eye. That's what
It is that, of course.
Thomas, that was the first time I saw the demo. That was incredible.
Oh, thanks.
That was absolutely incredible. Yeah, you don't really have to say a whole lot. You can just show them the demo. You don't even need slides.
Don't use your slides anymore.
That's the thing, Thomas. I think if you talk about it too much and use slides, and people can't imagine it. Like, it's so complex that people can't imagine. But if you show the demo, it's like, it's right there. Like, you know, you can see it.
Yeah.
That's it. And then people get it.
Yeah.
And you guys didn't see it, but within the chat, I was seeing Asher chatting with Vishal, asking Vishal if he can meet with him afterwards to talk about the companies. I'm telling you, there was some good. Isabel kind of raises the types of investors we bring in week by week. But there's some doozies in there today. There's at least 5 or 6 great funds, really, really, really good funds. So she'll be chasing up with them on Monday and finding out. But I also know, I'm also hearing back like Max saying, oh yeah, 2 people have already reached out to me to make meetings. So it will come. And by the way, Chris, for you, that was your best presentation by a million miles. Like
hands down. Hands down.
Really?
So
It
good.
wasn't a presentation. It was
So good.
entertainment.
Mate, no, it was a show. It was not entertainment. Entertainment is random. The show has a beginning, a middle, and an end. I was shitting myself at the start because I couldn't stop the music, and I thought you were gonna play music for the entire 5 minutes.
I've been thinking a little bit. You know, Sweden has a history of music export, right? And we have a lot of music software companies. I think
Spotify's from Sweden.
Market for investors, I think you can really get some really good contacts. I can send you a list of investors that I know in Sweden. I don't know which ones are into music, but I think I know it's a really, really big thing in Stockholm. It's rather close to you. So I would actually check out the Stockholm market for investors.
Yeah, for sure. No, there's a lot of music coming out of Sweden. Like every big producer in the US, like Max Martin and Stargate guys, they're all Swedish. They're all from Sweden, and they kind of own the charts in the US.
And I think now, since Spotify made an exit, they have a couple of thousand small investors that made a buck on that, and that really like music industry. They probably would like to reinvest the money they just made. And you also have some really big investors that also made some money on Spotify right now. So I'd love to send you.
Cool.
I have a list. It's really stupid. It's just a Word document, from when I read the news, and I just copy paste in leads. If you like, I send it to you by Slack or
email. Email is best.
Yeah, I email you, and you can have a look at that. I bet you can find some really good investors there.
Yeah, I'll put my email in the chat here.
By the way,
thank you,
in
Thomas.
the future, when that question is asked, the answer is, "Oh, I'm sorry, we only use IM mail."
That's wonderful. I want to add something, and when I see something I like, I got to talk, because I'm a babbling fool sometimes, but I want to say this. You know what the thing is? You guys were all the hot chicks at the bar today. Okay. If you know what that means, you came with something and you said, and they're going to have such a hard problem, a fucking huge problem picking who they like, because they have so many technologies. When I first joined this cohort, I thought, we definitely need training, myself, everybody. There was no errors today. It was awesome. And, obviously Chris, fantastic and stuff. I am IML, of course. I'm looking for us as well, but I'm gonna do something. I think that you're gonna be. Oh man, that was the best presentation I've seen in years. And I think you throw the rest away. That was the best way to do it. You made sure everybody's watching, and you woke it up. And then there's lots of people like that. Tony, awesome job. Mona, great, crazy, and Leo, love the slides.
And Leo, great job as well,
Yeah.
by the way. I mean, by the way, now that we've taken this to a level that we can't come back from, and I hope you're including Mona and Miko in the the hot chicks in the thing.
Oh, yeah, no, everybody was hot chick at the bar.
No, they're used to it. They're used to it. Don't let it go to their head. It's for us of us that we need it.
No, but you know what, Brian, you like, you know what, this is you're and your team and Isabella and everybody in the team. This is your applaud moment. You've grown a team that in 3-4 weeks that I've never seen that much change. And you know what, from the bottom of my heart, you're the fucking rock star, and your team and Isabella. I see the hard work you're going through, man, and I'm glad I'm part of this. And you know what, going forward, just, you know, Leo's pitching, because I can't fucking hold up anything close to that.
He did
So,
great today.
That's it. You can see it, and that brand was perfect.
Yeah, he
We
did
actually
great.
have investors coming back to see the demo days several times, and we also had David Friedman on today, who's going to be. He has his own session during the Hell Week, but he couldn't wait. I was chatting with him, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know we were expecting you today. I thought we were going to see you in 10 days." He's like, "Yeah, I'm too excited. I want to see them before that. And can you please send me all the decks?" And he gave me some really good feedback, and he likes a lot of you. So we'll have our own 90 minutes with just him in 10 days.
Yeah. Hey, just adding on, sorry, Sophie, rockstar too. I only mentioned Isabella, but Sophie, come on, guys, everybody, keeping the glue together with Isabella and Brian. It's been awesome. It's been good.
It's been sweet. And I love you guys, and I love how everybody's growing. And I mean it. Like, if somebody said to me, if one of the investors come back and says, "Yeah, I'll take that $500 bet. It's the safest bet I ever make." We got great companies here. And the only thing I'm just encouraging to continue it is, and next week we're going to come, even though next week is a break week, it's not a break week, because we're going to do strategy sessions all week. We're going to be preparing for Hell Week on the investor week. So I'm going to be reaching out to everybody individually, and then we're going to be working through the entire week to make sure that we're 100% ready. I want everybody getting investment. I want everybody moving forward. I want us all then getting ready for the growth week, for the growth 4 or 5 weeks where we push into that too. So it's going to be great. And Isabel has also lined up a group session for next week as well, so we can talk through the Hell Week and everything that's coming. But for right now, like, everybody should just be really happy. I feel the same way. Everybody's come on in leaps and bounds, just everybody. And don't worry that the first 3 or 4 weeks, that just out of, I thought yesterday was a great conversation. Don't worry about whether we have an investor, whether we don't. We have loads of investors. You saw today, there's like 25 investors there, maybe even more. And we've got, like, next week, another 150. 2 weeks time, we got 150. So they're coming. And then, by the way, Isabel's team hasn't even started on the sector specific investors. So we haven't even started in that place yet. And we haven't even started on the growth. So it's going to be sick. I'm obviously around on the weekend because this is my hobby. So if anybody needs anything, just let me know. But otherwise, yeah, you guys are all awesome. I just thought, you know, it just gets better and better.
You're the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks,
Cheers,
Brian.
guys.
Thanks,
Go
guys.
enjoy your weekend.